Hey everyone, Kim here, your plant bestie from Stand with Nature, and today I'm going to be doing a book review on Darryl Cheng's book, The New Plant Parent. So this book has been out a while, but it's a really great book, and I wanted to do a review on it because I think it's really unique and has some really good information, and it might be a book that you want to add to your indoor book plant collection. So Darryl Cheng's book is pretty different from a lot of the reference books that are out there that I've seen so far. He started a blog where he was tracking all of his indoor plants and how they grew and the problems that they had with pests as well as propagating or repotting. He kind of tracked all of that information for years and years. And so it's a really well put together book that documents the journey of several different plants in his home. So the thing I really like about it is it's neat because it goes through all of the steps or all the different stages that a plant is going to have as they're maturing, not just picking it up at the nursery when it looks its full lush form. It's going to go through the lifespan of a plant. Not the full lifespan, but he does document really nicely the amount of months or years at which he brings up a new topic on particular common house door plants that you might have in your home. He brings up really good points on common house plants that you would probably have inside of your home. So he really focuses on long-term satisfaction of plants, not just getting a plant and bringing it home and being excited initially, but to kind of be joyful and enjoy the process of caring for the plant over the different stages of its growth and maturity, and just really enjoying the whole process of being a plant parent, not just the initial excitement of buying a new plant at a nursery. And I feel the book is really grounded and realistic and honest, which is something I really appreciate. And instead of having a directory where there's a ton of different plants, he really hones in and focuses on only 19 plants total, which a lot of the plants he talks about in his book are very common house plants that most of us have in our home. There's bound to be a few of the plants on the list that you for sure will have in your home. And so it's really nice to see how his plants progress and the different stages of the plants, and he shows pictures of the different stages that his plants experienced and gives really good detailed information on what he did to overcome challenges or what he did to try to make his plants as happy as he possibly could within the settings of a home. So just to kind of give you an idea of the layout of the book, rather than show my face any further, I'm going to jump to opening the book with you over my shoulder so you can check out the layout as well as the structure of the book to see if it's something you'd be interested in buying and adding to your collection. Let's get to it. All right, I know you all love staring at my face, but I think you'll get a better idea of Darryl Cheng's New Plant Parent book if we just open up the book and flip through it and I give you a little walkthrough that we can decide if it's something for you. So when you first open up the table of contents, here he has all the basic plant care stuff. Holistic houseplant care, light, soil, water, pruning, propagation, repotting, pests, acquiring houseplants. It has really good, helpful information. And then over here, like I was saying, he focuses on only 19 indoor houseplants. But what I really appreciate is he goes into really good depth about the entire process of caring for plants for the long term, which is really cool. So we're going to flip through to page 14. So here on page 14, a home for plants. This part I really like. This is in the beginning part of the book. He kind of walks you through ideas on not just styling plants, but also as you acquire plants, they start to form clusters. You want to figure out how to lay out your plants. It gives you really nice tactile ideas on how to go about that so it's not so overwhelming. Gives you some diagrams as well. I thought this part was really helpful. Gives you some inspiration and ways that you can style and lay out your plants. Okay, and the next section that I really enjoyed was understanding houseplants. This I feel like is my favorite part of the entire book because he makes things more realistic and down to earth and approachable. In this section he discusses the different environments for plants. So, you know, a lot of times when we go to the nurseries, the plants look absolutely beautiful and at their peak. That's because they have all of the peak needs that they require, such as soil management, water, air, light, temperature. In the nursery, it's a very controlled environment, and they grow certain types of plants. But in our homes, it's different. So he really goes through and breaks down all of that, so you don't feel so bad about how your plant can't be incredibly perfect in your home. It's just we have so many different types of plants, different environments in our home that are so different from nature versus the nursery versus our home environment. So he really goes through that. This is life in nature versus the home. It's something I've never seen covered in an indoor plant book, and I really appreciated it. Goes over the light, water, soil management, air temperature, plant shape within a home versus nature. And then the key things that are most important to plants in order: light, water, and soil are the three most important parts. These are great too, but those three are the foundation. So on this part where he goes through light, water, and soil, the thing that's nice is he will go into depth on all 6 of these topics. So for example, if we go to page 34, he goes into depth about the lighting. So here he goes into depth about lighting, and it's super helpful. He breaks down the different types of lighting that you might commonly have in your home, kind of gives you a nice illustration on it, and also talks about candles and how to measure them, measure the lighting that you have in your home, different instruments you can do that with. Really, really thorough. Super helpful photos that kind of walk you step by step. Then he's also got the soil, gives good breakdowns of what type of substrates you can put to make your own soils. And then also on page 54, goes into watering, and it gives really in-depth illustrations again of different methods. It's just really thorough, and he dives deep into stuff which really helps make it a lot more manageable. Also aeration. That's another really big important thing that I fully believe in. It makes a huge difference on your indoor plants because they're not outside getting all of the bugs and worms aerating your soil. So that's really helpful. The next thing is on page 72. He talks about propagation, and that section I really enjoyed. So if we're going to flip through to propagation, this section I really enjoyed too. He gives some really nice illustration, or really nice photographs, I should say, on how to propagate, showing you where to find nodes, how to cut them. Also for succulents, which is really helpful, as well as he has some peperomias there. Really nice photos to explain propagation. And then on page 82, he has images of common pests that you might have inside your home and how to help control it. Oh, okay. And then the other part that was helpful in the initial front of the book was right here: different places to purchase plants. And this is super helpful if you're just getting started in plant collecting. This really gives you a wide range of places that you can start looking for plants. Some really outside the box you might not have thought about, which is really super helpful. And then we jump into helpful tools. Okay, and then when we turn to page 90, this is another great spot. This talks about helpful indoor gardening tools. So he goes over some of the common tools that he uses for cleaning leaves, taking care of the plant. Shows you a nice caddy that you can make for it. Super helpful. And then on page 95, this is where his houseplant journal starts. So he had an online blog where he was documenting stuff, and this is all compiled from his blog, all these photos he collected over the years. And he really goes into depth on the plants. It's really neat. So I'm going to go, for the first example, to kangaroo paw, which is on 108. So when you get to kangaroo paw, he gives a nice blurb at the front about kangaroo paws, their growth strategy, survival strategy, nice photos of them. Observations from a kangaroo paw fern owner. Really nice photos. And then check this out. Look at day 1, 2 months, 5 months, 10 months, 1 year, 7 months, 2 year, 5 months. It's great because it shows you as the plant matures what to expect and what kinds of challenges or things to look forward to. New growth development. Let's go to another example. 123, the Monstera. So there's the blurb. He has the same setup with a picture of the plant. And then when you turn here, growth strategy, got really good documentation. So day 1, 7 months, 8 months. He ended up, I believe, having to give this plant to his local church that had better lighting because it was getting so big. He just didn't have the lighting or space for it, I believe. So really interesting to see the journey of the plant and the challenges or amazing things that happen as you're growing a plant and being a plant parent. And the last example I was going to show you was on 148. I just love the photos in this book. They seem so full of information, and it's nice to see it documented. This Apelia, and oops, as you all know, they make little babies really nicely. So he's showing you all the pups. Day 1, 8 months, 10 months, 1 year. And look at all the pups. It's really nice to see the full process of a plant. Also like repotting and propagating and starting new plants. So that's how the rest of the book goes. And like I said, there's only 19 plants, but he really goes into depth about the care of each of those 19 plants. And it's just really, really great. And that's the book. So let me flip through it real quick here. Just give you one more look. But those are all the plants that he goes through. And then all the information is at the front of the book. And that's it. New Plant Parent book by Darryl Cheng. So I hope you found the review of Darryl Cheng's book really helpful. I really like this book. I think it's incredibly helpful, and it's really nice to see somebody document the care of their plants for a long period of time rather than just the initial time of buying the plant. So I really like it. I think it's a great book to add to any book collection for anybody that loves indoor plants. And if you have a book that you'd like me to review, be sure to leave in the comments below. There are so many great indoor and outdoor plant care books out there, and every single one has something really helpful and new and fresh, and I would love to review a book that you're curious about to see if you want to add it to your book collection. So leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think I should review next, and until then, thanks so much for checking out the video. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye.